Well, instead of more transparency when it comes to COVID cases in schools, parents in the West Ada School District will be hearing from the district a little less now. During this school year, the schools have been sending out emails to let families know of confirmed COVID cases and possible exposures in classrooms. Well, last night, during a regularly scheduled board meeting, a new board chair and vice chair were elected, and that would be Rusty Kofelt and Lori Frazier, respectively. And they didn't waste any time. In a 3-2 vote, the board decided to stop sending out those COVID exposure emails. As you can imagine, there are those who feel slighted by that decision and others who feel, Here's Katya Stepovic.
Dozens of parents showed up to West Ada's board meeting Monday night to give their 2 cents in 2 minutes on the district's COVID protocols.
COVID is here to stay. It's time to put a plan in place that works. It's time to mandate masks.
We just ask that you please do not go back to mandatory masking.
I'm asking the Board of Education to stop medical decisions on behalf of the parents.
And the board did stop one thing, letting parents know when their kids have been exposed to COVID-19 in the classroom.
There's a big unknown out there. And with all that data going out there, it just kind of creates that fear.
This is Rusty Kofelt, the new board chair. He's referring to the West Ada School District's COVID-19 dashboard.
This dashboard, this emailing to our families, we're feeding into that fear.
While the district didn't pull the plug on the data dashboard, 2 other board members agreed that notifying parents of a possible exposure does more harm than good.
I do question the exposure notifications. I've seen several emails come through where parents are it's just sheer panic. I think this variant is just going to burn itself out. It's fast and furious, and I don't know. It's time to move forward.
The board did decide in a 3-2 vote to stop emailing parents about close contact, and that doesn't sit well with everyone.
Not everybody feels exactly the same, right? So I have some concerns with taking away a parent's right to know what's going on with their child in our school.
And now some parents are concerned.
We have a medically complex child whose primary diagnosis have to do with respiratory status. So this being a respiratory disease that he has no existing protection for, we need to be able to know if he's had an exposure to start monitoring for those symptoms.
Emma Ballantyne has a 3-year-old in developmental preschool in the district.
It honestly made my husband and I consider whether or not we wanted to pull our kiddo from school.
She says keeping her son home from school would hinder his development, and she can't afford to have someone come into their home every day. But she understands why parents may get frustrated with the daily emails.
I understand that it can be frustrating to hear once again that your child's been exposed and to have to go through the whole process of deciding what you're going to do with that information and feeling like you're continually bombarded by it. So truthfully, I have compassion for them from that perspective. We have to go through the same decision tree on steroids.
I get 4 emails at least a week, and I don't have any idea which kid they're for because they're not specific. Even though they're in the same grade, they have different classes.
While it may be a nuisance, the bigger concern, they say, is the threat of not knowing about an exposure.
And at the same time, I have a chronic form of leukemia, so I need to make sure that I myself am safe.
And while both parents try to be understanding of the new decision, they say the district's move brings on more COVID fears.
Don't they have to notify us when, our kids are in a space that isn't safe? I don't know. It just doesn't sit well.
And when they struck down the mask mandate, that was one thing, but this is a whole other, and it feels like they've decided that this maybe doesn't exist. And I don't know that that's how we get out of this.
I did hear from some parents regarding the Boise School District's method and that they no longer notify parents of exposures. Well, I reached out to Boise School District and I have not been able to confirm that. One district that I did get back from was Nampa School District, and they told me in our secondary schools we are no longer sending out letters to parents, but our principals do send regular reminders to parents weekly to check that dashboard to see how many students and staff at their schools have reported positive cases. Now, Now, at the elementary level, they say they continue to send home a letter if a student in their child's classroom was present while they were contagious. And I did reach out to parents who were happy with West Ada's decision. None of them agreed to go on camera with me, but I will say that the majority of folks who commented on our social media posts were not happy with the district's move. Brian?
Yeah, and it's easy to see it from both sides. Not wanting to be the bearer of bad news doesn't mean you shouldn't still bear that bad news. But if you get a dozen of these emails within a short amount of time, and as a parent, you just kind of go, yes, and I mean, I could see it on both sides of that.
Absolutely, me too.
All right, thank you very much, Katya.